why are some people drawn to a technology sooner than others? Is it because they think it will improve their lives? Or that it will make them better at their jobs? Is it because their friends use it? Do people use a technology because they think they need to, or because they want to? The answers to these questions and others can influence how technology is developed, why and where it is used, and how it functions. These questions can change based on what the technology is and who is being asked. Technology acceptance and adoption theories attempt to define the questions and answer them by exploring how human factors and environments affect the choices we make about the technology we use in our lives. One of the most well-known theories is the unified theory of acceptance and use of technology, also known as the UTAUT. The UTAUT was originally developed in 2003 to study the adoption of office and business software. About a decade later, it was expanded to predict what factors have affected the adoption of consumer technology. It's called a unified theory because the researchers synthesized the most significant aspects of 8 separate theories into a single new theory. The result aimed to predict adoption of technology based on factors like how people think a technology will help them perform, how easy it is to use, and if their family and friends use it. It also looked to see how much age, gender, and the environment played a role when applied to these factors. Later, when they were analyzing the adoption of consumer technology, they added pleasure, price, and habit. Over the years, many researchers have used and adapted the UTAUT to fit the technology and context they were studying, such as mobile payments, health apps, and online learning. There's been research using the UTAUT to study the adoption of password managers, like LastPass or 1Password, but it's challenging to find research using the UTAUT that studies user login accounts. We are forced to use usernames and passwords when we log into websites, mobile devices, and anything that relates to identity in some way. This process has largely been adopted because it is what programmers have used all along to safeguard data, not because individuals were asked what they would prefer. But passwords are easy to forget and often not secure. Federated systems like Facebook and Google logins can be easier, but every time you use them, their systems track you, potentially giving them a bird's eye view into what you are doing online. A better digital identity could be used as a login to verify who we are. It would be controlled by us, be private, and could be used universally online. There's a new type of verifiable digital identity in progress that does all of these things. The technology that this digital identity uses is based on self-sovereign identity principles like users must control their identities. Users must have access to their own data. Identities must be long-lived, and the rights of users must be protected. These SSI-based digital identifiers can be used online to represent diplomas, licenses, passports, library cards, or anything that demands verification. It uses cryptography and blockchain to ensure that each digital identifier is uniquely tied to the individual that it represents, and allows only that individual to have full control over it. For example, an SSI-based digital library card could be used to borrow books. It could also be used to log in and create accounts on participating third-party websites. And if so, the issuing library would not need to be contacted to verify the identity of the borrower. This means that the digital library card could be verified as the borrower's ID and give the borrower the control to use it autonomously wherever it would be accepted. SSI-based digital identity is a new technology that is close but not quite production ready yet. What would help it get over the line is understanding what factors would drive its adoption. The most recent version of the UTAUT has more flexibility and contextuality than its earlier versions. This multi-leveled UTAUT is similar to previous versions in that it considers many of the existing factors of the UTAUT, but it adds flexibility to more structurally consider the environments where the technology is being tested. It also provides room to add more attributes about users and specify attributes related to the technology and the tasks being performed by the users. This potentially provides a framework that could be used to explore adoption of SSI-based digital IDs in a context like libraries, where there are multiple opportunities for identity verification and data privacy expectations. If an adaptation of the UTAUT could be used to survey early users of SSI-based digital library IDs, it could prove to be useful to study other SSI-based credentials like driving licenses, passports, and diplomas. And through acceptance and adoption, the technology can improve and then, hopefully, lead us to a safer and more secure internet.